Over the last year, on my street photography journey, I have strictly been using this 24mm 2.8 Pancake Lens from Canon. After a year of using it, this thing still absolutely blows my mind. I can't believe it's as cheap as it is, and I'm getting the results out of it that I have been. I want to start off the video by saying that I'm not a very tech-savvy person. Personally, it doesn't really interest me that much. I want to talk more about my experience of using the lens, things that I love about it, things that I've noticed, and overall how I truly believe this lens has made me a better photographer. Specifically, a few things are just getting braver, getting closer to people. I do think it's helped out with my composition a lot because of that, just with filling the frame more, and also just, needing to intentionally position subjects within the frame. We're gonna get into all of that, but that's what this video is about today. Before diving into the few things I just mentioned, I want to give a quick rundown or overview of the lens. As I mentioned, this is a 24mm 2.8 lens from Canon, EFS mount. I have a Canon T7i, which is an ASPC sensor, it's a crop sensor, so really the lens comes out to be around a 36 or a 38 equivalent, and that to me feels like such a good spot to be in. I really do think I would love a 35mm, this basically is that. The crazy thing to me is that this lens only costs $150, which in the realm of photography gear and lenses, that is extremely cheap. And I can't believe how sharp it is. I mean, I get it, it's very small, there's not a lot to it, but that's also what I love about it, Of course, it's a prime lens, you just slap it on the camera and you're ready to go. I love how small, lightweight, compact it is. Literally putting this on my camera completely changed the feeling of the camera overall. I remember putting it on made me take off the neck strap and just put on a wrist strap. It made the camera feel so much smaller, so much lighter, so easy to just throw in my bag and take with me everywhere that I'm going. I absolutely love the way the camera feels with this lens and the wrist strap that I have on it. For street photography, you want to stay as discreet as possible, you want your setup to be as light as possible, and that's what this has done for me. The results I'm getting from this lens as well are just mind-blowing to me. It's crazy that this is all I need. It's a $149 lens with my Canon T7i, and I'm happily shooting with it by choice. I don't feel the need to upgrade still to this day yet. I just love it, And using it over the last year also, I've really learned to trust how the lens works. I'm seeing more in this focal length because I've been using it for the last year. So it really helps with my trust in, I shoot from around this range a lot. A lot of the times I'm just firing this way. Of course I do lift up to my eye as well, but there's something to be said about that. Getting comfortable with the gear that you're using, so much so that you don't have to think about it. Because the more you can remove from the process of thinking about taking the photo, the more natural and easier your photos will come to you. Especially with street photography, because you want it to be quick, you want to be able to capture the photo in the moment and keep going. And with that, the autofocus on this lens as well is incredible to me. I absolutely love it. The next thing I want to talk about is how this lens has helped me get braver as a street photographer, and just physically get closer to my subjects, and how that in turn has helped me become a better photographer overall. I truly believe. Sounded like a Yoda sentence. This has made me a better photographer, I truly believe. Okay. Overall, I truly believe this lens has made me a better photographer because it's forced me to physically get closer to my subjects as I take the photo. Specifically, it's taught me how important actually getting closer is and how much of an impact that actually makes on the photo. You get a more dynamic photo, you get more detail, you can see the expression in the person's face, you can see the jewelry they're wearing, any type of detail that is seen closer up to the person. It really just makes such a big difference when you are closer to them. I think that is one way this lens has made me a better photographer, because I am getting closer. I'm feeling more confident and I'm feeling braver to get close to my subjects, you know, and overall I do think my photos that I'm getting are stronger. Especially, man, when I first started using this lens, there was absolutely a learning curve. I want to say that as well. As a more shy person, getting closer to me is something that I've really struggled with my street photography. But it's a barrier that I knew I had to get through in order to take the photos that I wanted to be taking. That is why this lens has played such a pivotal role in my development, because I have had to get closer, and I have been getting closer and facing that fear, doing it over and over again, because truly that is the only way to get over the fear, is to do it slowly but surely, and over time you will see that it does get easier. Thankfully, because it is scary. But, you know, over time, trust me when I say that it does get easier. This is just something else I've been thinking about too lately. Being here in New York City, there are so many interesting people. And with this lens, because it is wider, you really can't hide while you're using it. So it has forced me sometimes to, you know, go up to the people and engage with them if I want like a more of like a street portrait type thing. Or sometimes people really just see you taking the photo and then, you know, you kind of just laugh, and then the interaction goes on from there. But yeah, being here in New York, there are so many interesting people, and something I love about this lens is that it has forced me to engage with people more. I was out shooting a handful of weeks ago on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and there was a guy sitting on a bench feeding pigeons. And it just felt like such a classic New York moment. So as I was walking by, I said hi, snapped a photo, said have a nice day, and kind of just kept going. But as I was walking down the street, I was like, I have to go back. It didn't feel right to me. There was more that could have been done in that moment. And he was just a nice guy. So I made my way back over. He was still there, and I said, do you mind if I take a few photos of you while you're here? And he was like, yeah, of course, please, take whatever you want. So, you know, as I was there, I just took a few photos. We got into a conversation, and he was telling me that he was a doorman, and he's been coming out on his coffee breaks over the last 2 years feeding these pigeons and sitting on this bench. And it was just cool. I got his email, and I sent him the photos afterwards, and it was just a nice interaction. So, you know, that's just one benefit of using this lens. Because I'm feeling braver, because I'm feeling more confident, and you really can't hide as much, it has forced me to engage with people more, which has been nice as well. And the last thing I'll talk about is it has helped me so much compositionally, you know, getting better with framing a scene and just filling the frame more overall. Because you do have to get closer and physically move your body closer to the scene, it really does make you intentionally place subjects within a frame more. And I think, you know, that was absolutely a learning curve for me, but it's been such an important one in my development. I feel like it's helped me see where to place subjects in a scene specifically, using things like rule of thirds, or, you know, sometimes even not so much that, it's just being here in New York, you know, the energy is chaotic, especially during the summer. It's very fast paced. What I love about this lens is being able to just throw it on, weave through a crowd, and just fire away. And it's so much fun, but this lens has helped with that a lot because it is wider to me. I don't quite feel comfortable with using a 28 yet. I don't know what that would be on this camera. I'll have to do the calculation, but I have a 28mm for my film camera, and I've gotten more comfortable with it because of this lens, I think, but you know, there's still some work to be done there. But I really love 35. This is, like I said, 36, 38 equivalent. It's really close to a 35, but I've really grown to love this focal length. It really feels close to what my eyes see, just how I naturally see life and the world around me. That's one of the first things I noticed when I started using this lens, and that's something I love about it. And I do think that's why it's kind of felt natural for me to fall in love with this lens, because it is how I see. There's so much to be said compositionally when you do get closer to your subjects and closer to the scene in general. You feel more a part of the scene as opposed to, well, it depends on the photo, I guess, but you know, it gives you the ability to both be a part of the scene with your subjects or just on the outside of it looking in, you know, as we do as observers and people watchers in general. I do believe this lens has improved my eye as a photographer, how to place things within a frame, how I want to fill the frame, etc. So this may be a quicker video, but I just wanted to share my experience with it because I can't believe it's already been a year since I've been using this lens, but I really can't say enough good things about it. The fact that it's $149, it's as sharp as it is, it's as small and compact as it is. I love how easy it is to use. You just throw it on the camera and you're good to go. It's my favorite lens at the moment, and it has been for the last year, and I plan on using it this year as well. I'm so comfortable with it now, and it's been great. So if you are in the market for this lens, I highly recommend grabbing one. You know, hopefully this video gave you some insight. Is there anything bad about this lens? I feel like the only time, this is kind of my own problem, but you know, I'm also a YouTuber, so when I'm out, I'm filming as well, and it's not bad, but it's not the best for video either. Especially, do not try to walk and film with this lens, because it is like, you know, what am I trying to say? It's wide, but it's not so wide to the point where you're getting like an ultra wide angle, like fisheye type deal. So anytime I've filmed with it and looked at my clips after of me walking or like moving the camera, it just like makes me motion sick. So for video, it's good for like, you know, if you're just in one spot, like a still video, you're just putting the camera down on something, talking to it, like a static shot, it's great for that. However, I'm not going to try walking with it. I don't recommend walking with it and filming, anything like that. There's really nothing bad about it. It's $149. It's been great, and I really love it. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something. If you have any further questions, definitely let me know down below. I'd love to chat with you guys about it, if there's anything that I missed. And if you did enjoy the video, please give it a like. I would greatly appreciate it, and hit the subscribe button. I post a video every week, photography related, and just about my life here in New York City. So that's gonna do it for this one. Get out and shoot, and I will see you next time. See ya.